Hi, and welcome to our Fireside Chat show, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we kick back, turn on our liberal fireplace, as I am going to do now. It's as simple as hitting play on your remote control unit. And there you have it. Remote control romance, the environmental fireplace. By the way, this outfit is in Colorado. Look at this. I just noticed this. Let me go back and see if I can freeze it on this real quick. Look, see Genesis Infinity, Denver, Colorado. See that on there? You see that? Did you get it, or do I need to go back? Trust me, it said Denver, Colorado on it, folks. We have, as you know, been focused quite a bit on what happens in Colorado, what's going on in Colorado all week long, and I just happened to notice that. Now, we have for you tonight some wonderful viewer videos. You people are really putting some creative time into this, and your production values are markedly improved over the first couple of weeks of these, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time. We have, what do we have tonight, Sandy? 5 of these things that we're going to try to squeeze in. There's some goodies. We also have a couple of great phone calls that I see so far. We'll probably have some more. Somebody from Colorado who wants to thank me for getting things right about Colorado all week. And I always love these kind of calls. We got somebody from Green Lake County, Wisconsin that we hope to get to tonight. And it says there, Rush, have to confess, you're right about multiculturalism. And of course, I love convincing people that I'm right. That means more and more people are joining our fold here. I mentioned earlier this week that we had a segment coming up on liberal logic. This is it. Time has come for liberal logic. Liberal logic is not logic. That's the whole point. If you think about liberalism logically, you go nuts. You get confused, you go crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Because again, liberalism is what? Symbolism over substance. Also this week we have concentrated a lot on education. And part of our liberal logic segment here involves some more wacko education news as resulting from liberal control of the curriculum. Now, just to go in order, this is from the New York Times, a story, and we touched on this earlier in a different show about the same kind of thing going on, I think, in New Hampshire. This is a story about what's going on in Manhattan, Kansas, and other places. It's about report cards, and just listen to this. A school in Manhattan, Kansas has now replaced report cards with triangular parent-student-teacher conferences in which the children set their own educational goals and then assess how well they've done. Okay, so you bring a kid in. Now, don't misunderstand, but a kid, a student, by definition, is ignorant. Not stupid, not dumb, but ignorant. And I don't know how in the world you let someone who's being taught set the standard. You know, I had a conversation once this past summer with a young woman, 25 years old. I'm 41. We got into an argument that I thought at first was just semantic, but it actually was more substantive than that. I was talking about how when I was in high school, my high school football coach and a lot of teachers pushed me to be better than I thought I could be, pushed me to exceed my own limitations. And if you think back to the teachers that you had in school, I'll bet you that your favorite teachers are the ones that you think were really good, or throughout any walk of life, the people that showed you that you can get more out of you than you thought, the people that helped you do that, those are the people you admire. Those are the people you think back and fondly remember. Now, they may have been tough. It may not have been nice, but they certainly did get more out of you. This young woman said, no, we don't need to push kids. We need to understand. We need to understand. And I said, well, that's not going to accomplish anything. If you have somebody who's educated and somebody who's advanced trying to understand somebody who's not, what good does that do to someone who's not? They have to be pushed. Everybody has to be pushed. That's what makes people good, the pursuit of excellence. Well, now in Manhattan, Kansas, apparently, see, you know what else is going on with this outcome-based education, and we didn't touch on that enough this week. What's going on in some people's minds is that the curricula is being established so as to hide poor teaching skills. I mean, if you have an outcome-based plan where there are no grades and where there are no judgments on how well somebody's done, then you can't blame somebody for not teaching them very well. And at the same time, you can say, we're being fair. If Johnny knows that 2 plus 2 is 4, but Fred doesn't know, we shouldn't penalize Fred for not knowing. And so 2 plus 2 may not equal 4 if Fred doesn't know it. I mean, that's the kind of idiocy that's going on in schools today. It really is. It really is. Now, there's more here. Chicago, Newark, and other cities have tried forcing parents to come to school to pick up report cards. But sometimes parents who hated school when they were children simply stay away. So they don't know how their kids are doing. Pass-fail experiments often sent students the unintended message that nobody really cared if they did well. The most controversial part of the new report card, jumping to a different part of the story here, and we told you about this one earlier, and this is worth reminding you of. Under no circumstances, a warning on report cards in several school districts in America today, under no circumstances should this document be considered as a basis for drawing broad-based conclusions about or result in negative actions, especially physical, on the learner. In other words, don't beat your kid. The assumption is that if your kid doesn't do well, you're going to beat him. All parents abuse their kids, and that's why we got to give kids the right to sue. It really is an example, folks, of just how the education system in this country is falling apart in many places. Now, the New York City public school system controversy, as you know, there's a school board here who does not want their kids to be taught anal sex in the 1st grade or the 6th grade. They don't want alternative lifestyles advocated, and they don't want their kids being given condoms. The school's chancellor says it doesn't matter what you parents think. You're irrelevant. We are here to educate your kids the way we want to do it. Take a look at this from today's USA Today. This is Mitchell Moss, New York University Urban Center, commenting on the controversy with Joe Fernandez, who is the school's chancellor of New York. Fernandez is a charismatic leader who has been handicapped by a board of education which has a tendency to meddle. The Board of Education is only elected. They are the elected representatives of the parents. They're supposed to meddle when things aren't going right. Parents should have a say in what cultural values their kids are taught. And in the New York City public school systems, they don't want the parents to be involved, and probably in more school systems around the country than just that. Now, I am nearing my wit's end on my ability to handle liberal logic. Some of it is just cockeyed to the point that not even my vast tolerance, not even my massive ability to understand and bend and shape is able to figure some of these things out. You remember the Super Soaker controversy? These little day-glow orange and green and blue water guns. Kids would fill them up with water and go out there, and guys with real guns would say, hey, you can't do that to me, kid, and fire back. And so what was the reaction among the liberal leaders? We got to get those play guns off the street. We can't have those play guns out there. Why, those guys with the real guns are shooting those kids with the play guns. Let's go get those play guns and stop provoking the guys with the real guns. Let's not go get the guys with the real guns shooting kids. No, let's solve the problem by getting rid of the play guns. Well, San Jose, California, a principal at Clyde Arbuckle Elementary School has discovered that there are some new pencils out there that are made to look like syringes. They're fake syringes. And he has seen these kids taking these syringes and pretending to shoot up. So we got to get rid of those fake syringes. In the meantime, we in America are giving away clean needles to people. We're going to stop the spread of disease. We're going to give away clean needles. Here, use this needle. It's clean if you're going to do drugs. Get a kid with a fake needle. It's a pencil. We got to get that fake needle away from that kid. Now, what kind of sense does that make? You know, folks, let me shoot you straight, bluntly. Going to hit you between the eyes here. Let me just, this I don't understand. We have a disease, AIDS. This disease kills. This disease is spread by promiscuous sexual activity. In normal circumstances, in normal times, the very fact that you can die from promiscuous behavior would in itself be a sanction on that behavior. You just stop it. You wouldn't engage in it. What are we doing? We're teaching it. We're advocating it. We are giving out condoms. We are encouraging promiscuous behavior in our schools. It doesn't make sense. None of it does. It's liberal logic. It's in your schools. You're the parents. Be aware. We'll be back with the rest of our show right after this.